Alrighty. Um, Hello everyone. Good evening once again, and thank you all so much for joining us today at this particular time. If you are here today, it means that you really find this worthy enough of your time to join us today and come to understand how we plan to achieve more one quarter at a time, which is a session by a professional leader, Miss Adeshola Aliogo. Before we dive deep into the session, my name is Aminat Balogo, and I would be moderating this session. So this session is actually hosted by KwaraBuild Women in Tech, which is a pillar of the KwaraBuild community, and I'm one of the core team members. And our focus in the KwaraBuild Women in Tech pillar is to support women in their growth in their professional careers. And one of the ways we are planning to ensure that support is also by having webinars and sessions like this that helps bring clarity into how they can properly plan their year. So a lot of us are going to agree that there's usually a pressure during the end of the year trying to identify and understand what we've achieved during the course of the year, and then finally trying to plan for the upcoming year. And this is a very perfect time at the beginning of the year for us to understand how we can set realistic goals. Now, it's not just about setting realistic, but also ensuring that they are sustainable. And that is what Adeshola Aliogo would be walking us through today. So before I invite her up or pass the mic to her, I would like us to just play a very quick interactive game just to set the ground running. Just give me a moment, please. So I'll be sharing a link on the chat box, and I would love everyone to please interact with the link. It's just to help us understand what you hope to learn from this session. So I'll be dropping it in the chat box. And I'm also sharing my screen so we can all see from everyone's perspective what they are expecting in this session. So if you got the link that I shared, kindly help just engage with the poll. Thank you. Or if you want, you can just scan this QR code and let's just get started. If you're having issues with the link, you can let me know. Alrighty, thank you. We have one person typing. So the earlier we all engage, if we can have at least 5 people, then I think we're great to go. It's anonymous, don't worry. Okay, we have 2 people. Try to do too many things at once. That's strong and lose consistency. Okay, so I think that's fine. Ms. Adeshola, I hope you can also see what our participants are expecting. So I'll be inviting Adeshola Aliogo on the stage, and I would just like to just quickly give you guys a brief about her so you understand who we've invited to help facilitate this session. Adeshola Aliogo is a seasoned HR professional with diverse industry experience and currently HR at Hydrogen Payments. Starting at Dangote Industries, she progressed to roles at Deloitte Sterling Bank PLC and Vendas before becoming head of people and culture at Core. Adeshola is known for her innovative HR strategies and passion for driving employee engagement. She holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and an MBA from Nexford University. She is an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Personal Management of Nigeria. Beyond her professional achievements, Adeshola is passionate about her faith, family, and music, and has founded initiatives or communities such as Niger Job Corps, Thrive HR Club, and Salt in the Marketplace. Our journey reflects dedication, expertise, and a commitment to empowering individuals and organizations through effective HR practices and leadership. Thank you so much, Adeshola Aliogo, for joining us. We'd like to pass the mic over to you to please take over.
All right, thank you very much. I hope that you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. Okay, so because this is a very small class, and it would be great if you all make it worth my while, I would really appreciate hearing from all of us here. We're all women. So I would want to hear everyone's voice. In fact, I'd like to take quick introductions, your name, and something fun about you. I just want us to be able to connect because, yeah, I like to take advantage of small classes like this one. So, yes, she has introduced me. I would just say, so I will start with the what's fun about me. Okay, you already know my name is Adeshola. What's fun about me? I think I call myself there's something I call myself. I call myself an onion, and that's because my friends say that they can never finish unwrapping me. There's just a lot of layers to me. I'm here on this call. I'm looking very serious. I could be dancing in the next few minutes. That's just me. I'm multifaceted. So I'd like to hear from everyone. If you indulge me, it would be a great way to connect on this call. So I will be calling names as I see them on the call. Of course, I'll be calling your name, but yes, you can just say hello. Um, what's fun about me is this, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So the first person is Amidat. Amidat, I'd like to hear from you. Can you hear me? Hi, Amidat, can you hear me? You know, calls, webinars like this can be very tricky. You could think that you're talking to people and you're not. So that's what I want to hear. So Amidat has left. Maybe she has network issues. So we'll go to the next person. Okay, Amidat is back. Can you hear me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll go to Musina Badmos. Musina Badmos, can you hear me? Okay, Faidat Abimbola Daudu, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can go ahead. Did you hear the
Okay,
last
you
thing
go
I
ahead.
said?
You hear the last thing I said. I can hear you, Claire. I can hear you.
Yeah, did you hear the
Yeah, did you
last?
hear the last?
Okay, seems you
Okay,
didn't.
seems you didn't.
So, Amidat, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. You said we should introduce our.
Yes, please. What do you do?
All right. My name is Amidat. I am a project manager, and the fun fact about me is I love to playful, play around whenever things get really tough. So
All right. Thank you. And thank you for that introduction. Okay, I'll go to Awao Jayola.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Shola Aliogo. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Hawa from Kwara State, Ilori. I'm a data analyst and I also work as a program manager. And fun facts about me, I'm a soft girl, but I always like to form ad.
That's interesting. You know, we can unpack that, but let's not unpack it on this call. Continue being soft. Please don't in fact don't form hard though, because when you form hard, sometimes I can tell you more about forming hard. But nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
My
Okay,
pleasure.
there's
Thank you.
Maven Chichi. Quickly, Maven Chichi, or anyone can just unmute and introduce themselves. I can see Happiness. I can see Maven Chichi. I can see Timilola. I can see Oyi Consola. I can see Tenny. Please unmute yourselves.
Good,
Otherwise,
good evening.
oh, okay.
Hi.
Lydia, you can go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Ma. My name is Bando Happiness Lydia. Yes, that's all. Or what are we saying more to that?
What do you do? Something fun about you.
Okay. Majorly, my area of interest is public speaking, but I have other things that I do. And an interesting fact about me, I don't know actually. I can't
Ah,
say one right now.
wow. Please, please, please. You need to find out. You can't be too serious every time. You can't be. You can't be. All right. Nice to meet you, Lydia. Nice to meet you. Who else is speaking?
Hi,
Hi.
um, good evening. My name is Chioma. Amazing Chichi, actually.
Love it.
So, a bit Marvin Chichi. I don't know what's showing there.
I can see
So,
Marvin Chichi.
yeah, so, um, career-wise, presently, an on-air personality, and I also, um, I'm also a UI UX designer. So, fun thing about me, I love hype and engagements. I like to, I just like to see movies and I like to talk about entertainment stuff. So, more or less, I would
Oh,
just say
yeah.
I love being outside.
Yeah, I guess that's
So,
also why you're an OAP.
yeah,
Nice to meet
so,
you. Nice to meet you,
yeah.
Chichi. Who else is
yeah.
speaking quickly?
Good
I haven't
evening.
heard from Tenny. Okay.
Good evening. My name is
Evening.
Temi Fayo. I am an undergraduate student of University of Ilori, and a fun fact about me is I love to learn. I really, really love to learn, and I am
Ah,
a very curious
that's,
person.
I like it too, but is it fun?
Yes, it is fun. It is fun. Learning is fun. Just getting to
Anyway, I thank
know,
you.
and
I
then
mean, you see it as
I've
one of
been.
them is as you've been too serious, but very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I'd like to take can I hear from Oyi Consola? I just want to be sure that we're all here, you know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm supposed to be on my way home, but I'm here doing this. So yes, it has to be worth it for me and all of us. So yes, Oyi Consola, please go ahead. I like your picture.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. Good evening, everyone. Please, can you
Good
hear me?
evening.
All right. So my name is Oyin Consola Shomo. I am an online business manager. So, fun fact about me, I'm a very curious person. So
Yes, please go ahead.
anything that interests me, I always want to find out everything about it. So yes, I'm a very curious person. Don't know if you can hear
Okay, that's cool. I can hear you very well. You said
me.
you're a
Where I
very
am is
curious person.
quite noisy.
When you said you're very curious, when you said you're a very curious person, I just remembered the saying that curiosity kills the cats. But don't worry, it won't kill you. It's good to be curious, especially in our world now. It's a crime not to be curious. It's a crime. All right, I'll just leave it there because of time. I mean, I would have said you guys should turn on your videos, but it's fine. I think There's a thing with us in Nigeria, we don't like to turn on our videos on calls. I feel that it's always the connection is stronger where we can see ourselves and be sure that we're flowing together. So I'm really hoping that even though I'm not seeing you, you are taking this seriously. Right. So I was told very, very unusual to talk about the power of 90 days, achieving more one quarter at a time. To be honest, I've spoken a lot about setting goals and all, but never really taken a topic like this. So it's interesting because we're going to be unpacking it together, right? So moving on, just quickly, you've all shared, there was a question that our host had asked and you all responded. But essentially, we want to, at the end of the day, be able to help. I mean, all of us, we need to be equipped with simple, repeatable frameworks that will help us focus on execution and measurable progress. And of course, understand why. Sorry, I need to minimize this. There we, I guess I should be able to minimize this. Understand why quarterly execution outperforms annual only planning. And I like it when Aminat was introducing, this session. It's very normal that at the beginning of the year, people begin to set goals. People begin to. Sometimes I always wonder. Sorry, excuse me, my hair is in my mouth. I always wonder, why do people wait till January to set goals? Why does it? So again, I see it like this. January is the first month of a year, right? But it's just sometimes it feels like it's just another day, and everybody's just happy new year and all. What you wanted to do in January, why didn't you do it in December? So it's sort of something that we're just used to. You set new year resolutions for yourself. You say, I'm not going to do this again. If you're whatever your faith is, you also pray to your God and say, oh, this is what I want and all of that. So, but we're here on this call, we're trying to say it's good to have those goals, but it's also good to break them down. And that's essentially why, and that's what a lot of organizations do now. Yes, we have a vision. Yes, we have an overarching goal for the year, but then what do we hope to achieve and look back on every month, every week, every quarter to say, okay, how are we doing? It's essentially tracking progress. So that's what we're doing here today. So moving on, I will sorry. Yes. Let me ask you a question before we proceed, and I'd like one or two people to respond. Is there anyone here who has ever set a goal and didn't achieve the goal? Let's even go back into 2025. Did you set goals for 2025? Did you achieve the goal or did you not? Please let's respond. I can't see a lot of people, so you can just unmute yourself, just speak.
There were some goals that I set for myself in 2025 that I did not meet. Yes, I didn't meet them.
Okay, did you meet anyone?
Yes, I met a couple of them, but not all.
Okay. Okay, so the ones you didn't meet, what happened? Why do you think it failed or did not work out the way you intended?
It felt like 24 hours was not enough for me, and everything I kept pushing, or okay, I'll start this time. Like my priority list kept changing and they were never fitting in. So it just seemed like nah, I don't think I'll be able to like meet up with this thing. And I just kept pushing them, and till 2025 finished, I wasn't able to meet some of them.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that you were maybe overambitious with your goals?
I think so. Maybe.
Okay. So essentially you somehow talked about the framework around setting goals, and I'm sure a lot of us have heard about it. Your goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. Yes, I mean that's please go ahead. I can see your hand.
Yeah, same here. So there were some certain goals I set that I wasn't able to meet up. And the reason for that, which I was able to deduce, was the fact that I didn't put so much energy as
Hmm.
expected of me to meet up. So that's what I discovered along the line.
Thank you so much for being very, very open with that. And that's what happens. And I can tell you that even I myself, I know there were some goals that I set last year that somehow I was either procrastinating, focusing on other things, or just like you said, I didn't put in so much energy. Yes, Chichi wants to contribute to that.
Yeah, I kind of okay. The question interests me, and I just wanted to give my own take on it. So I feel like I had too many goals. I had a lot of them. I was trying to run at the same time. Like a period of 1 year felt for me like it was too big. And then so I had too many things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. And now executing all of them felt like it wasn't coming to term because I can't be here and there at the same time, so to say, and then they are not the same thing. So it requires different energy, different mindset, different presence, and all of that. So over time, I think that it's just about having too many things having too many goals at the same time was actually what I was able to figure out from my own angle.
Thank you. Thank you. I can see someone else is raising their hand, but I was going to say, I think was it Ami that spoke? When you said the energy, I want to just ask you a follow-up question. Do you have any goals that you achieved? So maybe your energy went into those ones that were achieved.
Yeah, basically
No,
on that.
no. Okay, so it's Chichi. No, I
Okay.
think was it Amida that spoke about not putting enough energy into her goals? Thank you, Chichi. Maybe I hope she can hear me, but yeah, Amina, quickly, go ahead.
All right. Hi everyone. So if I'm being honest, in hindsight, when I think about why I don't achieve some of my goals every year, I think it's because I'm not always honest to myself. In
Mm.
between every year, I set goals, and then in between other goals come in, and then in my head it's always like, well, this has come, everything has to be achieved. I don't want to believe that nothing is unachievable in that year. I would just say that it's just me not being honest about it with myself.
Okay, thank you. That's another perspective. But thank you all for sharing. These are typical issues that we all face when it comes to setting goals. Either we're setting too many goals or not being realistic about what we're able to achieve. Because it's enough to say, for instance, I want to travel to the UK for holiday in December, or and then I'm just looking and I know that I'm supposed to either save money for my flight, start soliciting for funds, and I just sit down and expect some magic to happen. And sometimes life also happens. Just life just takes your focus away and you have to deal with other issues. So those issues happen to us. We've all been there. It's really about resources of time, money, people, and proper planning. So right now we want to be able to say that we set goals that we met. We look back and we say, okay, yes. And even for goals that we're not able to meet, there's a genuine reason, but you still will praise yourself and tell yourself, well done. So why think quarterly? Right? Why think quarterly? It's because it's very important to know that, just as someone said, a year can feel very long. Now, when it feels very long, you may think about it in two ways. It's either you feel that you have enough time and you fall into the trap of procrastinating, or you feel that the year is too small for all the things that you want to do. And so that's why you need to first of all see it like this. Let's go back to the UK holiday example. You can envision yourself somewhere in the UK on London Bridge, enjoying life. But then the goals that you're setting per quarter is what will help me to get to that UK. That is the vision. I want to see the snow, for example. You're saying, okay, if I break down my flight money, I probably need to save XX amount at every quarter. Oh, now I don't have a passport. I need to start processing my passport now because Nigeria can happen and it will take time. Okay, I need to also start applying for my visa. If I need to apply for my visa, I need to have proof of funds or whatever. You know, it's really thinking about it in small steps while still having the big picture in mind. When you think about it in small steps, it is simple. It is that you see that, okay, I can achieve this small steps. A friend of mine and I were talking earlier today, and we're talking about how they're moving into a new house. And when they sat down to count the cost of moving into a new house that they just bought, it was going to about 18 million, 20 million. It looks very impossible. But then we say to ourselves, we say, yes, to make the house beautiful is what it requires. But do I have a mattress? Do I have a TV? Do I have a gas cooker? Do I have, you know? So we begin to say, okay, let's break it down. It's my house. I can do it for as long as 1 year. This month, I'm going to buy a mattress. This month, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy. So breaking it down makes it easier to achieve. And you are truly accountable and asking yourself, can I really do it? Again, short cycles helps you to maintain focus, and you can then see progress. So see that those big goals that you have, that you've written down, they are tied to the vision, but execution is about what you do daily, weekly, in order to achieve. So if I say I'm a Christian and I say I want to read my Bible for 1 year, and I said that as a goal last year, and I started, but guess what? There were days that I missed and I could only do just 200 and something days. I've not gotten to 365 days. So what we're saying is you need to see that what you do every day matters for you to achieve a certain goal. So you need to be able to know realistically. Don't just think about it and say, oh yes, I want to move into software engineering and just sit down. There are steps that you need to take to move into software engineering, and it's very clear that, I mean, it's very important that you write it down. So again, I've said it, everything that you do daily, weekly, they are attractions. So we've talked about this already. We've thought about one goal that we wished we achieved last year and why we couldn't achieve it. So it means that we're very clear on the mistakes that we should not make. No, there's no need to drop it. We've talked about it. We're very clear on the mistakes that we should not make as we have come into the new year. And thank you. I can see that you're all following me. Now let's talk about clarity before action. Again, when we're talking about goals, the question you should always ask yourself is why? I'm somebody, for instance, if my CEO says, I like to work from the place of solving a problem. And as an HR person, there's so many HR people in the world. And you can see this company is doing that, this company is doing this, but is it useful for my company? Maybe not. So even as you set those goals, there should be a question that you're answering for yourself. What do you want your year to be like? For instance, in my organization, my CEO has made it very clear to say this is a year of new horizons. New horizons to us could be mean different things if we do not define it. New horizons for somebody else could just mean, a new horizon is that I want to just rest. I don't want to kill myself again because of another man's word. So if she doesn't take her time to say, new horizons actually means that we're going to be doing things more innovatively, we're going to work more with AI, we're going to do this, people will misunderstand. So again, the reason you want to do something has to be very clear to you. That will want to push you. And sometimes when you sit down to really ask yourself that why, you realize that maybe this is not the time for you. Maybe you're just asking for too much. Sometimes somebody can say, I want to, let me see, maybe I want to work on my social media presence or whatever. But when you start to ask yourself why may probably be because you see some other people are doing it. Everybody is now a social media content creator. Or maybe your own. It's the season where you need to sit down and learn, acquire knowledge, hide yourself. So understanding the why is important. You have to know how and why it matters to you. I think I did a video which I posted on my TikTok, and I posted a part of it. And I was saying that when it comes to your career, I don't joke with vision. I have a picture, like I have a picture of what I want to be doing in the next 5 years. In my head, I have it. In fact, sometimes I stand in front of my mirror and I rehearse it. I'm sitting in this office. I'm telling you, I've rehearsed sitting in an office like this before. So the vision has to be clear and your wine must be attached to that vision. You can't just say, everybody is on social media, I must grow my followers to 5,000. I must grow this, I must grow this. You may find out that the course you're running is not really your course. It's not, everybody is not going to do what everybody's doing. And that's why sometimes your energy towards it may be low because you have not really seen the reason to do it. That reason, you haven't tied it to something. So again, you have to tie everything that you do to that vision. Now, moving on quickly, let's talk about what you can do when it comes to this quarterly thing that we're talking about. And we're saying that it shouldn't be too much. It shouldn't be too much. It's okay. For me, if I like what I like to do at a time like this, I'd like to say, for a moment, maybe in the next 1 minute, can we take a moment to just dream? And when I say dream, imagine yourself at the end of the year. What do you see? You don't need to tell me. You can write it down. But dream a little. Have a clear idea of where you want to be in different areas. So, for example, I put here your career, your business, your finances. How did your finances do last year? Are you proud of yourself? Did you have enough money to do Oblay in December? So, think about your finances. Think about personal growth. I hear someone say they're the UX designer. I hear someone say they're data analyst. I hear someone say, I want to work on, I like to speaking at events and all of that, public speaking. So you need to think about it. If public speaking is your desire, maybe you imagine yourself getting calls to come and speak at events. Starts with just focusing on 3 things in different areas that are important to you. And if you want to do money, if you feel that you have the capacity more, that's fine. But for this example, select 3 focus areas. Are we together? You can just thumbs up to thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Amidat. Thank you, thank you. All right. Now, for every of the area, I want you to define your 3 outcomes. In my career, what do I want to be? In my personal life, what do I want to be? Okay, I will go ahead. You have a question or a comment?
No, sorry, man. No. Sorry. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake, no problem.
Yes.
So in your personal life, where do you want to be? In your health, maybe you want to be more social, maybe you want to work on your emotional well-being, but the outcome has to be clear. It's just like when we set goals at work. When you set goals, your goals have to be specific and you'll see the outcome of that goal. So for example, I can say, okay, the IT guy can say, buy laptops. That's not a goal. But what I want to hear from him is, buy X number of laptops for X number of employees projected to resume in the year. That's an outcome. So define the outcomes for every focus area. Make sure that, again, like I said, they're measurable. You can see it. So it's not just about doing that. So sometimes you set a goal and you're just doing activities. The activity is not really feeding into the outcome. So everything that you're doing needs to fit to it. Now, commit to 3 weekly non-negotiables. So you can take a screenshot of these templates, but this would help you to have more focus. Again, it's about small, repeatable, trackable actions that directly drive your outcome. So like I said earlier, what I've realized with studying my Bible, for example, is Once I start my day and I don't do it, it's difficult for me because during the day I'm so busy. When I get home, I'm too tired. And sometimes I manage to go back to it at night, but there's so many distractions. I mean, mom, this one will come, that one will come. Everybody wants your attention. So you need to define what works. Make sure we set small, because the problem is that sometimes we set very high unachievable things for, like, somebody. Okay, imagine that you don't read. You're not somebody that likes, you're not curious. Who said she was very curious earlier? You're not curious, but you now said, you know what, just because people say reading is good, I'm going to read 2 books every month. Is that achievable? Last year you did not read any book. You did not read. You were on social media, you were on Instagram, you were on TikTok. But now it's not that type of goal. You can now start with, I want to read 1 book per quarter. Every day, depending on the chapter of the book, I want to do 2 pages. Those are small, repeatable. So as you're reading, you're progressing, right? So it's about being realistic about your expectations for yourself. So you must be able to now review everything that you're doing. It's a discipline that you must have. So ask yourself, what worked? What didn't work? What distracted me? What must I change? So here, you need to stop what is no longer serving your goals. If you think about all the things that you do, maybe you're going out too much, you're spending too much time with friends, you're spending too much time on social media, you're just watching too many movies, then you need to stop it. You need to know what you need to start as you're getting to stop some things. And then you think about what's already working, give yourself kudos for it, and continue thriving on what's already working. I will put it together. So let's move quickly. Right. So I like to talk about this. It's very important because for everything that we're talking about, it requires discipline. It's not discipline of killing yourself. It's about being deliberate about building certain behavioral patterns. And it requires certain sacrifice, letting go of some pleasures and all of that. So we'll quickly run through it. If you want to be successful in your goals for this year, if you're able to apply all of these disciplines, trust me, you'll have a wonderful year. Discipline of time and priorities. Planning is important, and it has to be daily. You can't just be floating. You can't just be available for everybody. You have to plan your day. Focus on important tasks and avoid reacting to problems. Every day I get to work, I notice that usually sometimes I know I have a lot of work to do, but I really cannot know what to do at a certain time. But guess what helps me? I go to a tracker that I developed for my team, and I look at what we've agreed, because we have a meeting every Monday. Okay, these are the things that I'm responsible for. Writing down, whether on your phone, but I like this. You see this thing. I know that phones are good, tablets are good. I mean, if you have a tablet and you can use a pen, it's fine, but write it down. Always plan. If you're able to be strict about your time and what you prioritize, you will be working towards your goal gradually. Discipline of skill development, regular learning. I love it that somebody said they're very curious, and it's interesting to know. So please continue to learn. Don't get tired of learning. Someone also said, yes, they love learning. That's the fun thing about them. Be current. So a goal that you have, you may realize that it's not that maybe you plan to have a certification, but somewhere along the line, that certification is not even very, valuable. So you have to constantly know what is valuable to your field and continue to develop yourself. This other one is about excellence. Everything that you're doing towards achieving your goal, you must do it very well. Now, emotional regulation, there will be difficulties. There will be days when you are almost telling yourself, you're almost feeling like you haven't done well. There will be days when somebody will make you feel that way. There will be Days when you're just even tired and you're like, what? I'm even tired. How many books will I read? You have to be able to manage your emotions. You have to be able to manage your reactions to people on those type of days, right? Don't react. Be professional about it. And this is speaking to all of us that work. We work with people. So even at work, when you set a goal and something is not working, focus on the reason why it is not working and see if it is something that is within your power to adjust. But again, it's very important to manage your emotion and spiritual alignment. I say this because if you, and I'd appreciate, I will be happy to connect with you if you're on LinkedIn, Adeshola Aliogo. You see that I talk a lot about my faith and work. And that's because there are lots of things that people pray about, but don't really pray about their faith and their work. So those goals that you are setting, the hard question is it in line with what God wants you to focus on? So you have to be very sure. And then something has to motivate you. Sometimes you need to actually seek for wisdom and make sure that every goal that you're setting, anything you're pursuing, those daily habits, they are being guided by your values, right? Every time I have the opportunity to talk about values, I talk about it because it's very important. So if you're able to get all these disciplines, achieving your goals will not be hard. Now, moving on quickly, let's talk about, we talked about it earlier. Why did we not achieve our goal? So maybe some of these things I would mention are the reasons you did not achieve your goal. Or if you continue to do them this year, you probably would say you did not achieve your goal. And I'm not praying that that's what will happen to all of us, but if we don't get rid of these habits, that's most likely what will happen. The first one is inconsistency. Me, I am the biggest, now I'm the biggest advocacy for consistency. I sing. And I look at a lot of people that are, I know, I'm sure you know, I can never turn back. Oh, no, it's already too late. Though. It doesn't matter your religion. You must know that song because they even play it in clubs. Am I correct? Are we together? Okay. I'm going somewhere with my story. Do you know that guy, I have a song with him, the Gaze Baba guy. I have a song with him that was recorded that I put online. But guess the difference between both of us? We both wanted to do music. He, over the years, has stayed consistent. Even when nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. I like to speak from, I'm not a motivational speaker. I speak from experience. But me, guess what? At some point, I just said, what? I'm not doing this music thing again. I'll go and focus on my HR work. And I went back to my HR work. For some years, I even forgot about that. I've had a YouTube channel since I can't even remember. Consistency. Sometimes you're doing it and you're not even seeing the results. Keep at it. Just make sure you're doing this right. Yes, I think the session is recorded, I believe. Just make sure you're doing it right. So you have to be consistent. We talked about reading a book earlier. Pick it up, read it, set alarm, do whatever you need to do to be consistent. Social media, I started creating content years ago. But then again, work, I stopped. I'm telling you because so that you don't think that my coming to you here is to tell you that I have it all put together. There was a time I had a clothing business online. I was doing a declutter business. I was doing fairly well at the time that I started it. I'll take clothes from this one, sell to this other person. But I stopped. Imagine that I continued with that. Maybe now it would be a very big declutter business in Nigeria and I wouldn't be sitting in this office to be doing HR work. So consistency is the only thing that will guarantee success. If you're not consistent, you are going to regret it and ask yourself, sorry, just give me a moment. If you're not consistent, you're going to regret it and you'll be asking yourself why at the end of the day. Now let's go back to, just give me a moment. I want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Apologies, please. Right. Okay. Okay. So yes, consistency, like I said, is very key. The next thing I will talk about is procrastination. I will do it later. I will do it tomorrow. I'll do it when I get back. So I work out, right? Because I want to maintain a certain shape. I don't want to look like I have a daughter that is taller than me. So I work out. Now, sometimes what I realize is whenever I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, I will dress up for gym later, I'll go to the kitchen, go around the house. I will not go to the gym that day. That's the gym will end up being on my bed. So I realize that what works is if I get up, wear that gym clothes, even if I want to do anything in the kitchen, wear the gym clothes to go do it. So you have to understand the patterns and work based on what works for you. But don't procrastinate. Don't say you do it later. As long as you have asked the why and you know that is important, you need to get it done. Thirdly, overcommitment. Like we said, some of us don't know how to say no even to ourselves. Because somebody is doing it, you want to do. You set high, unachievable goals for yourself. Right now, you don't have a saving habit. You're trying to learn how to save, but you are now telling yourself, I'm going to save 50% of my salary. It will not work. So you have to commit to what you're able to achieve. It's true, it won't work. Start saving 10% first. Then you graduate gradually to 20. Don't set goals that are not, because life would happen. They will be required to spend money. It might be that month that somebody will call you and say something happened, this and that. You just say that you couldn't do, and then you start beating yourself. Comparison. This one is very important for me. Do not compare your journey with anyone. Please remember that for everybody in this walk of life, in your career, your journey is unique to you. And if I sit down here today to tell you my story, you will understand that it's very dangerous to compare anybody to yourselves. There are friends that I started life, got a job before them, but they're doing a lot better than me today. There are also people that started, and so everybody's journeys are different, but just make sure that you have a plan, you have a vision, and you're working towards achieving that vision. So that you're not just running helter-skelter, setting goals that you cannot achieve, and then you begin to feel like a failure. Comparison it will steal your joy, because what will happen is that the ones that you have achieved, you will not be celebrating it, and it is very dangerous. So if you're clear on what you want to do, but by the time you achieve a little, buy yourself ice cream. Don't worry about somebody else. Just focus on yourself. Poor boundaries, of course, is similar to overcommitment. You need to be very clear on what, and this has to do with not just what people expect of you, but even what you expect of yourself. So set those boundaries, make them clear. Lastly, waiting to feel ready. You think that you need to have everything before you start. That's what you think. You must have everything. So, for example, one of my goals is to do well on social media. So I'm going to be asking all of you to go and follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, on everywhere. But guess what? I wanted to, there's a type of video that I want to be creating, right? But I realized that I don't have the gadgets for the video yet. I don't have the aesthetics. You know that social media, everybody like aesthetics a lot. So I don't have the aesthetics, but guess what? I'm shooting those videos. Sometimes I'll just be on my chair like this. I'll put on my camera and I'll shoot the video. I'll post it. The day I have the money for the camera, for the light, I will buy it. I mean that me and you will be friends. You can relate to everything I'm saying. So please, you don't have to wait till you are fully ready before you get started. Somebody will say, start anyhow. Just start. Right. Let's move quickly because of time, so that my babies will not come and look for Aminat. Right. So we're done. However, we just want to quickly talk about the key takeaways. I tried to make this very short, but I hope that it has been impactful and there's something. And everybody's going to tell me what they're going to do differently. In fact, it's an assignment for me that you must do, and Amina to submit to me because I've met with you now, meaning that we are going to be connected and you can always reach out. So you need to remember that progress is built in quarters. Do not overstretch, but always make sure that you're tracking. Your clarity is what will make you confident. So remember what we said about clarity. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. That's what will give you confidence to pursue, even when there are challenges. That's what we give you. So you have to be very clear on what you're doing, why you're doing it, how will it impact your life, and any aspect of your life that is important. What will be the impact? Every small action will help you towards achieving the big results. And of course, you have the power to design your growth. You underscore have the power to design your growth. And lastly, remember your next 90 days is not starting tomorrow, it's starting today. Meaning that from this session that we've had, you're asking yourself, where am I going to? What's the vision? What's the big picture? What do I need to do every day, every week, every month, every quarter to get there? Thank you so much. I will be very happy to take a few comments and questions. Thank you all.
Oh my
Who's
God,
on
that
me?
was so amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. If you have any questions, you can just unmute yourself so we could quickly take them. Just can attend to our babies and they will not hold me.
Thank you. Any questions? Or if you don't have a question, because I think I broke it down well enough, you can just tell me, what are you committing to doing after this session? Tell me. I'd love to hear.
If it's fine, I think I'd like to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I would really love to commit to clarity. I really love the idea that you spoke about. It's not just imagining yourself or having a dream at a particular stage, but also understanding the why it is important to you. And
Mm,
I realize that sometimes when you chase something and you don't understand why that thing is important, that means you are just probably working towards a particular goal that is not
mm,
starting in the right direction. Then at the end of the day, you realize that it is all wasted effort. You were just progressing, you were just moving but not progressing. So that's
Activities. Thank you so much for sharing that. So clarity. All right. Lydia, please go ahead.
All right, so thank you, Ma, once again for that wonderful session. What I want to ask is actually like a question. I
Okay.
think what's the line between knowing that okay, I want to be committed to this thing, I want to be consistent to it with what I'm doing, and knowing that oh, this thing is not for me. Like I feel like there's some things one should let go of, and or you move on to what you like finding your path, because most of us really want to, we're still like sorting out ourselves. We don't really know, everything is not so clear right now. So what's that line that makes you know that okay, I think this is something that I should keep showing up even if there is no results, and just oh, this has to go, this is not for me, and I need to like move on.
Okay. I think it goes back to clarity. I think it goes back to before you decide on whether it is for you, it goes back to clarity of asking why you even committed to that thing in the first place. That's why, like we said, clarity is what will give you the confidence because some goals will be hard. That's the truth. Some ambitions will be hard. For instance, in the world of work, you getting to maybe a certain level may require that you take a pay cut, may require that you leave a job that is fantastic. Go watch the video I posted on my TikTok today. I was talking about the biggest risk that I took in my career. And it didn't make sense to a lot of people at the time. Sorry, I'm trying to record. It It didn't make sense to a lot of people at the time, because why are you leaving a good job? I mean, at that time, the company was well known. Why are you leaving it? But do I regret making that decision today? I do not. It required me leaving that fantastic job, getting unemployed for 9 months. It required me taking a pay cut and earning a pay that I earned about 6 or 7 years before that period. That's tough, right? So it goes back to the why. Before you give up on that goal, ask yourself why. What is it impacting? If I achieve it today, what's going to happen to me? Because sometimes you may achieve it and nothing. It's really, if it doesn't touch anything, then you can as well just say, you know what, I can focus on this later. It's secondary. I think it's important that in your goals, you break it down, you separate it and say, this is primary, very important, and this is secondary. So you need to know what is important, what is urgent, what will really impact the vision that you have for yourself. Do you understand? I hope this response helps.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma.
You're welcome. Amidat's hand is raised.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful presentation and explanation so far. Like, it was so detailed and it was so clear. Thank you so much. So
Thank you.
one thing I would like to commit myself to moving forward is alignment. Like me being able to align myself clearly with what I really want, what I truly want. Because a lot of times, because I'm a curious person, I love to learn a lot. So I find myself doing things that does not align with me.
Mm,
Sometimes I get
mm,
distracted. So one thing I would love to do moving forward is alignment. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think, what happens to someone who's curious is that you might be curious about too many things at the same time. So you might also need to sort of structure where you want to focus your curiosity. It's good to, like like I have a friend who I used to say, if I go on, what's this show? Um, what's that millionaire show? Who wants to be a millionaire? That she's the one I'll call. She knows something about everything, right? But I also feel that I see her today and I'm like, she's not really focused on something. So you have to be very careful so that you're not just generalizing. You need to put that energy and focus it in something. Other things can be secondary, right? But thank you for sharing. I think that's everyone that we have. I try to keep to time. Thank you all for joining. So let's do a small exercise. That's the only thing people are going to do for me before I leave. I like to see your connections
Good
or
evening, ma.
LinkedIn. Hi, Hawa. You want to say something?
Yes, ma. Sorry, please. I actually have a request. Can you please that first what's it called? What you were talking about spirituality and the list. I quickly went out to do something because I was unable to jot it down. That first
Is that
slide.
the discipline
Yeah, the
aspect?
one that contains yes. You were on the
So
spiritual.
it's
You were explaining
discipline
me.
of time and priorities. Let me see if I can quickly
Yes,
share
yes,
my
yes.
screen for
Thank you.
you. Just quickly move so you can see it. So discipline of time and priorities, skill development. You
Yes,
can take a
yes.
screenshot quickly. Yeah. All right.
Mrs. Adeshola, I think it would be helpful if you can help us drop the links to your socials.
Let me see if I can get that. I don't have the other links on this my PC, but I will drop the link to my LinkedIn. And please just connect, drop me a message, let me know that it's from this session. Where is let me see, I think I should be able to get the LinkedIn here. I usually don't do that on my work PC. Okay, Adeshola.
Where?
Oh, I already shared the LinkedIn URL.
Oh,
That's
okay,
good.
thank you. I mean, my social is my name is the same everywhere, to be honest. Shola Aliogo, Shola Aliogo. the same everywhere. So once you put that, you'd find me easily. But it's a pleasure to meet all of you. I want to wish you well. Keep it up. I'm praying that by the time, if I ever have to speak to you, you're going to tell me that you achieved your goals because you set very clear, simple goals and you're moving towards something. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, Aminat, for
Um,
the conversation.
Thank you so much, Mar. Before we call it a day, I would like us to just do a quick thing where everyone switches on their camera and we can do a quick community selfie. Can you guys please help switch on your cameras so we can have a quick selfie with Mrs. Aliogo? I'll be starting with mine. Can you guys see me?
So you have a face. I didn't know. Since you've been looking at my own face.
Oh God, that's how life is.
No,
Lizzie,
nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Aisha, Chichi, please let's have you guys first so we can call it a day. Our babies are waiting. That's someone's mother.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All
We
right,
have,
I'm taking a picture on my phone as well.
oh, all right.
All right, just hold on. Let me. People are not on the video for you. Ah, yeah. Say cheese. All
Okay, let
right.
me
Thank you, everyone.
see.
I guess the others are not where they can turn on their videos. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Enjoy. Bye. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone.